Hello, welcome back to another video. Now, this video is kind of what I can only describe as a collection of videos. So we've just got back from a stay at the Sidings Hotel. Now, my original plan, which I had recorded in this way as well, was to make a video out of the Sidings Hotel and then a separate video out of a day out in York. Now, I'm not really happy putting both of the videos up as separate videos, because I just don't really think I have enough in them to be two separate videos, and that's why I've put them together into this little collection of videos. So what you're going to see, oops, that was my water bottle. So what you're going to see, just a collection of random clips from the weekend. So, enjoy! We're now here in the room, so I'm going to give you a quick room tour, then we're going to get outside and we're going to start train spotting. So, we've got a bed, we've got lamps, we've got two seats, we've got a bin, we've got a coffee making thing, we've got a TV, we've got another bed, we've got a mirror, hello. I don't know, oh. So that's how close the train tracks are. I was going to mention that in a second. This is... I don't think that's supposed to be on there, is it? I don't think that's supposed to be on there, but... Then we come through here into the bathroom. Here's the bathroom. We've got a sink. We've got a mirror. We've got a toilet. So obviously this room, it used to be a railway carriage. Well, I think that's kind of pretty obvious. But what I'm going to do later on in the video, when we get back later tonight, is I'm going to actually just show you some of the features they've kept, because they've kept a few original features, haven't they? So I'm going to show you them in just a second. Okay, I've done a bit of train spotting. I've been out there for about an hour, so I've come back to the room. I'm gonna sit in here, chill out for a bit. And then about 5:30 we'll be going down to eat, so I'll take you down there and I will show you the food, and I will say what the food is like, and I will do all of that stuff. So it's a little bit later on. I'm just out here on the little decking thing, where you can come and stand and watch the trains. Obviously you've just seen that freight thing go past, class 66 went past. Now the time is currently 5:10, and we have booked to eat at 5:30, so we've got not too long, then we get to eat. So I will show you the food and I will let you know what I think and everything, and then I'm going to go back to the room and I'm going to show you some of the original features that they've left in. That's our room there. On that side. Okay then, it's here. Take the leaf out. Bang. Camera cut off, but very nice, very nice. Now let me just try a chip. Also nice. So this is the fourth time we've been. Out of them 4 times we've been, I think this is the busiest we've seen this restaurant in. It's very busy. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the ice cream. Generous though. Generous with the portions. Alright, it's slightly later on. It's about 10 o'clock-ish. We're back in the room, as you can see. Now, I said I was going to show you some cool things. I'm going to do that tomorrow, because it's a bit late now. So, I'll do that tomorrow. However, TV's working. This is the very essential bed test, in which I just do that and check. Because for some reason, I have a thing for stains. I don't know why, but I do. And I also check for bed bugs, but around here. Check this side. I've just realised they've made this so nice and neat, and I'm just going and wrecking it. It's not very nice, is it? I can't see. I think this is probably the one main thing that would put people off staying here, and that's the fact that in your room you're trying to get to sleep and you've got that all night long. I mean, it actually vibrates the bed as well. That's quite funny. It vibrates the bed. Well, good morning. It's a lovely morning out here this morning. Really nice. It's about 9:15 or something. To be honest, I don't have a clue what time it is. But what I do know is we don't have too long until we're going for breakfast. Now, I'm not going to bother filming breakfast because I'm not going to have anything extraordinary. So I won't bother filming breakfast. So the next clip you see will probably when we get back from York later. So how did we sleep with a whole night of that? Well, I don't know about everyone else, but me personally, I slept all night long. Didn't wake up once. Not one single freight train woke me up. So I had a lovely night's sleep, I did. Don't know about everyone else, but I had a lovely night's sleep, and that's what's most important, isn't it?
drink, of course, caused lots of disease. So thankfully, he discovered that it was the bacteria, and he's not bad, eh? Not bad. Of course, it's history and some great buildings and all sorts of interesting things. But back in the day, you can't quite hard to get here. You know, horse and carriage can take a long time. George Lehman became a member of Parliament. He was, you know, a Lord Mayor of York as well. So he did very well for himself. So we gave him, he could do that, but there we go. So basically, his statue you don't find anywhere in York at all, George Hudson. Now on the right, and it's a very nice bridge, of course. But before we had a bridge, you had to pay a ferryman and sail across in a little boat. Just a little turret here on the right, the left side I should say. Barker Tower is where the ferryman used to be, and for a couple of pennies or so he'd sail you across to the opposite side there. On the right you see a medieval Guildhall going back to the 1440s, still very much in use by the council for meetings and civic functions, and it's open to the public as well. Now coming up, we have the entrance to the Museum Gardens on the left hand side. The gardens themselves are free to go into. Inside there you find the ruins of St Mary's Abbey and part of the Roman fortress. And if you like, you've got the Theatre Royal coming up, the Georgian building, going back to 1744. It's had a few facelifts since then. I mean, if we'd been around since Georgian times, I think we would have had as well. And of course, many great actors have had those boards. Just get on the walls from here, or pop into the art gallery, or go to the King's Manor, have a wander around there. And there was a big exhibition when it opened, so we called this place Exhibition Square. Because Yorkshire folk say it like it is. It might be now, but basically that statue needs a bit of a clean, really. So William Etty was a famous painter, which is why it says R.A. after his name. His name wasn't William Etty, it was R.A. stands for Royal Academy here. One became Emperor of Rome here as well. The statue is still outside. And eventually in 1066 we were conquered by the Normans, the French ruler, who called it York, and eventually we have become York ever since. But because we had so many different rulers who speak in so many different languages, the buildings and things around York, the names tell you the story. For example, the gates are called bars, as well. The hill was added by the Vikings in the 9th century, and underneath all that earth and grass there is the Roman wall dating back to the 1st century. The scale of the building there. Now we're going to go round to the left. When we go to the left, you can look to the right past Keystone's pub. You will hit that as well. The downside is, as you might have heard, York does flow quite a bit. So there's a lake there we need to build across. Then of course the lake eventually got filled in and turned into a road. It looks like there's a big ground there. So if a guild, chances are you become a Lord Mayor, and they'll probably bury you there. The street's called Coppergate. Coppergate's a Viking name, of course, and in the Coppergate Centre, just down here on the left, is where the Jorvik Viking Centre is. And they built the Viking Centre there because they found 40,000 artefacts down there in the 70s and 80s. A massive archaeological find. It changed our view of Vikings. You always think of Vikings as big, hunky guys with axes, chopping heads off. And they did that, of course, but this showed us how real people actually lived in Viking times. So using all the archaeological forces, one of those here is a Yorkshireman, and we might have to prove what he tried to do. Now here we are at stop number 7 for Clifford's Tower, the Castle Museum, and also for Jorvik and the York Dungeons, and just behind us next to the Hilton we have the York Army Museum as well. It's called the Massacre of the Jews. Now, I won't go into all the details of it really, it's not very... And just at the base of the hill, where you see the trees, are some greystones where the drawbridge would have been there. So it does give you a bit of an idea. You can actually walk along this section. If you go to the Castle Museum, you can actually walk lots of gravestones, but mostly they're flat apart from one, which is handily the one I want to point out. So just down on the left you see the last resting place, or the gravestone anyway, of Dick Turpin, the very famous TV programme about him, or maybe a play or read a book about him. Stand and deliver your money or your life. He's meant to be a dashing, gallant Dan Dick. So all the rainwater comes down off the hills and meets here, so the little best friends. That's why the big metal barrier is now down. The first race of the year will be in May for the commentators, for the last races in October. It's also a music from the crowds, all that sort of stuff. Now we know they were gladiators by looking at how they died, and the things that were buried next to them and all that stuff. So we know they're the largest train station in the whole world back then. Quite a big claim, of course. It was actually bombed by the Germans in 1942. You see where some red bricks are there, where part of it was damaged. You have to repair the damages. Now to the right you see the who knows, and perhaps have something to eat there as well. So far so good. And you thought, oh, hang on a minute.
Slight change to the plan. We've all just been kicked off the bus, so we're just going to walk around now. It's pretty big.
Don't think about it.
Just got some chips.
You know, you've been sat in somewhere where it's really dark and then you come out and you...
Look at the queue for that tea room. Look at that. I mean, who'd have thought it was February? It's lovely today. Oh, too zoomed in. Still too zoomed in. I mean, what's brilliant about York is you can come here hundreds of times and you still get lost. Hundreds of times and you still get lost around York. Don't know where the hell we are now. Never been. Never. I don't think we've ever been down this street before.
You haven't got to the bank yet, have you?
Now, in that, a really creative street name. Well, the Minster's there, so we're heading in the right direction. Alright, hi, it's quite a bit later on. We've been into York, done everything we wanted to do. Video, we're on that a couple of weeks. So we're back here in the restaurant car, which means it's time for food again. So, show you the menu. I'm going for the flatbread pizza. Because to be honest, I'm a very plain eater and this is sort of fancy for me. And here is the pizza. I think it's time for sticky toffee pudding. Okay guys, we've just got back to the room now. Now, actually just watching the footage back from earlier, I realised that I committed a horrific, what I can only describe as a horrific offence, a horrific crime. I forgot to record my sticky toffee pudding. So sorry about that, but it was very delicious. So if we go through the eating, so I got a pizza that was alright. Wasn't the best thing. Wasn't the best thing I've personally ever had, but generally it was okay. Then I had my sticky toffee pudding, which of course I forgot to record. Sorry about that. I know you were all really looking forward to it, but all I can describe it as is some spongy toffee thing with custard. That's how I can describe it. So you can put an image of your thing in your head. I don't know. Anyway, we're back at the room now. So I said I was going to show you some cool things. I'm going to show you some cool things now. Okay, so the first thing, we've got some original signage here. So this is obviously pointing to seats because it says seats 24 to 13. So that would be original in the carriage. We've got a heater, so obviously you just do that and a bit of that and that'd be there. We've got quite a few of them throughout the room as well. Okay, good morning. It is now the next day. This is our final morning here. We do actually have to be out of this room in 45 minutes. So I'm going to run through everything very quickly. So, we've just come back from breakfast. Didn't bother filming it because I only had toast. Don't think it's quite as exciting as a cheeseburger, is it? Let's be honest. Or a sticky toffee pudding that I forgot to film. So yeah. So on here I've got the bill, which when I tell you, you might think it's a little bit expensive, But what I've got to realise is that so when you're buying drinks and things, instead of paying for everything separately, they just put it onto one bill at the end. So this bill includes meals, so on here, it includes the meals that we've had, all the drinks and everything, and then obviously the accommodation, the room, which is the most expensive part. So, is there a train coming? I think so. Yeah. So all together, this room, so the accommodation, so for the room, that cost us £228. And then on top of that, when you add in all the drinks and the food and all the extras that we've bought while being here, that comes to a total of £440.45. So that's everything in total. Alright then, we're leaving the room. We're leaving the room. We're leaving the room. That's it. We've left the room. I mean, we're not going yet, because we don't have to go straight away. So I'm going to stay for a bit before we go.
The family room, how many people did it hold?
We're staying this evening.
I think after the actual room itself, that bar is guilty for probably the second most amount of money. Obviously the most being the actual stay. I was going to carry on filming in there, but the light's kind of in the way. So that brings to the end today's video from the Sidings and from York. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and comment down below if you want to see a little bloopers outtake video, because there's a particular clip in this video that took about 10 takes to film. So comment down below if you want to see that, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye.